Top 10 places, top 10. We're just going to go for top 5. There'll be at least 10 different places in the top 5. But the top 5 places will contain 10 places. So you get your top 10 with your top 5. But we're going to go with top 5 places to park when you're housing challenged. As I have been for the last 2 years, officially the 4th of July. 2026 will be 2 years and living in the rig I have and part-time employment here and there, trying to pick up any kind of job I can, putting out thousands of applications, talking to dozens of people, landing an occasional part-time few hours every few months, lifestyle employment. So anyway, I try to do my best. I try to keep myself groomed, bathed. Hygiene is important. I keep my clothes clean. Most people don't realize that I'm in the situation I'm at. I kind of prefer it that way. I even hesitate to do these kind of videos because I really don't want to be famous for being not famous. You know what I mean? I'm doing this to share because I know more and more people are ending up in this situation. And I'm becoming less and less alone. As I see around me over the last 2 years, I can tell you new faces. Some are like me, trying to keep their things together, trying to get out of this situation. Most are not trying to do those things. They're not trying to do anything at all. God have mercy. This is a very, very tough situation. Very tough situation. If you know, you know. For those here and in the now and in the need, that's why I'm sharing. Because I listened to several testimonies of people in this situation for the first time and the only time they've ever ended up in this kind of situation. They've never camped. They're not do-it-yourselfers, and their knowledge of how to is a little bit limited. So I'm a handyman. I know how to build a house from the foundation up, and I know many tricks and do-it-yourself styles. And I hope you get something out of the lessons. If you do, please like and subscribe. Smash the subscribe button. And I have a link in the description for my FundMe page, which is a little dry, but I'm still getting by. And God willing, I will continue to. Okay, so the top 5 places to park. Number 5, we'll start from the bottom. Sure, why not? Number 5, which I have number 1 on my list. So, number 5, anywhere where there's a 24-hour service, such as a health club. If you have a health club membership, which you probably might want to have, living in this situation anyway, you probably already do. If it's Planet Fitness, meh, or a LA Fitness, any place like a Walmart, any shopping mart, that's 24 hours. There's a couple that I know of that I'll occasionally do in the northern sections where I go. Positive aspect of it is it's really busy, so generally security won't hassle you for being there too long if you're there overnight. It depends on the security. If the security's tight, they might not want anybody sleeping in the vehicles. You might get a knock on the door in the middle of the night, which, that adds stress to the night. And who needs that? But if you can find a location that allows people to park overnight and there's not too much security, you can get away with it. The downside of that is if it's too busy, you're going to hear car doors slamming all night, people coming and going. You're going to hear voices that you don't know if they're just casual voices or if they're voices concerning you being on the property. That's just stuff in your head during the night that's hard to sleep with, and you don't get the rest that you need. I'm all about getting the rest that you need, so I found some places to park, which are on my number 1 list, but we're on number 5. So anywhere that's 24 hours, that's a good place. But like I say, it can be busy, it could be loud. You're going to want to invest in earplugs. Earplugs are the key to getting a decent night's sleep no matter where you're at. Okay, number 4, I can't go off of memory. Number 4 is hotels. Hotels, I guess, could be under 24 hours, but I put hotels in a separate category because it's its own thing, and there are many of them. There are hotels all over the place. There are hotels next to hotels. So if you find a place that has lots of parking and is pretty busy, steadily busy, then you should be okay at a hotel. The key to hotel parking is you want to get there later and you want to leave early. Generally after dark, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you can pull up. Once again, if the security's not too tight, you can get away with it. You also want to leave early in the morning because generally the shifts will change as new employees come in the morning and they look more closely at the details of people parking in their parking lot. They might notice you and not want you there. They'll recognize that your plate isn't on their guest list and they'll come a knocking. I got that one time when I first landed in this situation. I got a job at a printing company that prints all the election ballots. A brutal job. I worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for over a month straight. It was killer. And at my age, it wore me out. It broke me. My shoulders haven't healed. It's been 2 years and my shoulders are still killing me. Doing that job, there were 2 hotels. One I tried staying at first, and they recognized me right away. As soon as I pulled up, they didn't want anything to do with me there. So I moved down the street, up the street to the other hotel, and I was able to get away with it for the whole month that I worked because I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning and gone so I can hit the health club, get a shower, and be on the job ready to go at 6 o'clock in the morning from 6 to 6. And I came home, and slept, tried to sleep. I didn't sleep for a week on that job. It was killer. Once that gig stopped, I slept in till 7:30 one morning and got a knock on the side of my van saying they wanted me gone. And so that was the end of that. So here's my tip when they come a knocking. If they can't see within your vehicle and they're not certain that somebody's in the vehicle, and even if they are and they can't see you, don't answer. Do not reply. Don't make a sound. Say nothing, do nothing. Because I had the police do that to me one night. Some Karen called the cops on me, and I was in the back of my vehicle. 3 times I've been in the back of my vehicle, and somebody knocked on the side of my van or on the window. I didn't reply. I didn't respond. I didn't make a beep. Not a single sound. And waited for them to go away, which they did. And as soon as they went away, I gave it a little time, but as soon as they went away, I moved. And I never went back to that spot. That's the key to that. Keeps you out of trouble and keeps you anonymous, which is nice. Don't say anything. Don't reply in that situation. So number 3 is state parks. State parks are nice because you will get your own campsite. And for the most part, you're going to feel safe and secure. You'll get a good night's rest, always important. And you have a sense of space and safety. Problem with state parks is they're going to cost you anywhere from $10 to $30 a night, depending on your needs. So if you get a dry site, meaning no water or electricity, you can spend $8-10 a night. You'll feel safe and secure. You'll generally be surrounded by the forest, gives you a nice peace of mind, helps you to relax for the night. You'll get a good restful evening and some contemplation and some prayer time. Those are always nice. And maybe you can build a campfire. You can get your stove out, cook some food, make some marshmallows, and just feel like a sense of normalcy for a little bit. But that's going to cost you a little bit. Also, they have showers. They'll cost you a couple dollars, but you can bathe, which is always nice on the road. Hygiene is important. And so you get the shower, you'll get the campfire, you'll get your own sense of space, but it's going to cost you a little bit. I think the cheapest I found was about $8 for the night. Depends on your state. I was in New Mexico one time when I had a trailer and I broke down and I was at a state park for about a month and I didn't see a single soul. It was the middle of the summer, so no one in their right mind would be in a state park in New Mexico. It was nice. I had my dog at the time. It was like my own park. I had my tools. I did some work on my vehicle. I did some maintenance. I did some maintenance on my camper. Depending on your skill set, you can get some things done on your rig while you're at a state park, which is kind of nice. The downside to that is it's going to cost you. There's no way you can afford $10 a night. That's $300 for the month. If you can, that's great. Stay there. That's perfect. And if it's nearby all your necessities, you're golden. Other drawback of a state park is that they have time limits on how long you can camp there. Usually it's 7 nights, 10 nights, and you can't be back for another 5 nights. So you might have to find another place to camp while you go back to the other one. Also, they're only open in the PNW area. They're only open, I think it's 8 months out of the year. They're closed through the winter. So you can't camp at a state park through the winter out here. That's another drawback. If you have the resources and you don't mind being a little further away from everything, then state parks, perfect place. Quiet, peaceful, and you meet some nice people. Oh, man. Oh, my stage is falling apart. Props. Where's the stage manager? Okay, now there's going to be some continuity problems. Oh, there we go. That doesn't help at all. All right. What's wrong with these high-tech setups? After that fiasco. Oh, no. Okay, so number 2, I have park and rides. I don't know why I put this number 2. I personally have not tried a park and ride. The ones that I have seen that I needed at the time was no overnight parking. Although many of them do have overnight parking, at least 24 hours. Many of them have 7 days to 10 days worth of parking time. They'll cost you a couple dollars, I think $2 or $3 for the night, some of them. Some of them are free and readily available in this area. But I have other parking that I have readily available in this area. So I personally haven't tried a park and ride. If you have tried a park and ride, please leave in the comments a how to do a parking ride. You can rate it 1 out of 10 if you have had good experiences at a park and ride or not. You can let me know. Please do. I haven't tried one. I may. It depends on the situation in the future. I hear that they are very easily accessible and there's security, so you're safe. So as long as no one knows you're in the vehicle, if you have a vehicle like mine where there's no windows, no one can tell if you're in there or not. So they can speculate, but like I say, if you keep quiet, they will never know. Generally, no matter what state you live in, sleeping in your vehicle is heavily frowned upon and could cost you a fine. And we don't want that because we can't afford that. You let me know. If you try to park and ride, I'd be curious to know. I don't know why I put that at number 2 when I haven't tried it, but I do have a bonus that I thought of as I was making this video, which I'll share at the end. But my number 1 place to park for me that's worked out the best is a side street. Well, I guess not just any side street. You'd have to shop around, find a safe place. For me, I found a perfect place. It's in an area where many other camper vans, stealth vehicles have spent quite some time, even a year or more, and never moved their vehicle until their vehicle looked like it was going to fall apart. And then I think they had it towed or something. Occasionally, there will be a sweep in those areas as well, and that's why it's good to move around. I always move around. I have 2, 3, 4, 5 different places I park constantly or consistently, and then in between those, I will park 2, 3, at the most 4 nights in a row before I move on to my next place. I won't stay in one place for more than a few nights, and I never leave my vehicle there all day. So I only go to park where I sleep when I go to sleep. I'm not there to do anything other than park and sleep. I don't want anybody to know my business, so I'm not camping in those places. I don't do any of my cleaning. I don't do any of my cooking. I don't even make a cup of coffee. I just wake up and I move and I go to the next place. Basically, the library is where I go to do everything else, but never where I park. And another key about parking in a place is to always set up for the night in another place. So if you got to do things where you need to open and close your doors a lot and maneuver your gear so you make it ready for the night, you don't want to do that where you sleep. You want to do that somewhere else before you get to where you park to sleep. So when you pull up to park and sleep, you just pull up, park, and sleep, and keep it that way. And when you wake up in the morning, you get ready as much as you need to. Just get up, get in your driver's seat, and go. Don't let anybody know your business. That's my 2 cents on that. I have a couple places where I park, and I know I'm going to get a good night's rest. I know I won't have to worry. Yeah, there's a little bit of noise, but for the most part, it's pretty quiet, especially for a city. And being there now 2 years, I'm familiar with the noises. I know what I need to worry about or not. One morning I woke up to a gal trying to siphon gas out of my car. Yeah, that was a nice awakening. I got up, then she realized, oh, somebody's in the vehicle. Apparently she ran out of gas in this cockeyed position right in front of me and couldn't move her vehicle. So she was stuck half in the street where virtually nobody could get by. And in that situation, I got out of the vehicle, had to get my gas cap back from her. And a neighbor came out, somebody who lived there, asked her to move her vehicle because it was blocking the street. But since she ran out of gas, she couldn't move it. So he helped, and I helped, to move her into the parking space so she was out of the traffic. And in the process of that, I let the neighbor know what she was up to, trying to siphon gas out of my vehicle. Nothing he could do, but at least he knew. One night, I pulled up about 9, 10 o'clock. He was out on his back porch, and he just yelled out to me a little bit about, oh, I have to get up at 5 in the morning, and I'm going to be in my garage. I'm going to be making a lot of noise. You might not want to park there for the night because I'm going to be up early making a lot of noise, which I thought was great. Unlike Karen, who didn't want me in her property anywhere near on the street, even though it was perfectly legal, and I had every right to park there. So you're going to find good people out there. You're going to find a lot of not so good people out there, but it's always nice when you know you don't have to worry about the neighbors. That's why I go back to that place, because I know I'm going to get a good rest, and I know I'm not going to bother anybody, and I don't want to bother anybody. Here's another tip. Always leave a 0% footprint. Never leave any garbage. Never leave a trace that you were there. In fact, clean up if there's trash around you so nobody suspects you for leaving the trash. I always leave places cleaner than when I got there. That's a rule of thumb that I've always worked with. It's a principle that I continue to this day, part of my work ethic. When I finish my job, I always leave it nicer than when I got there. That's the key to life. Leave it better than when you were there. Stay safe out there, everybody. Once again, please like and subscribe. This is it. I'm trying to do what I can, trying to share information and try to make it by. I'll go on about the job market and everything else in another video. But those are my top 5 places to park. And as an extra bonus, as I was making this video, I thought of another place I haven't tried, as they are a little further away from my location. But down through the Bible Belt, as we used to call it, there are several communities that have been established. There is property that is set aside for people who live in their RVs, who own self-sustained sort of lifestyle, that you can go and camp and spend months at a time for very little cost. I believe many of them have showers. There are communities that are built throughout the southern areas where you can join the community. I think there's a yearly fee. You're free to drive from park to park, and you can spend as much time there as you like. And you could be surrounded by people that are living the sort of lifestyle that you're living. And maybe you'll find some things in common. You'll meet other people, maybe get some other ideas, and find a better way of doing your rig, or just a better way of doing this whole thing. And doing the thing is what we got to do, because we're in the thing. So we got to do the thing until hopefully, God willing, we can be out of the thing and move on to the next thing, hopefully better things. We are always hoping for better things. I will leave a link to some of those communities that I mentioned, but I really don't know much about them other than they are available. I'm trying to find a steady gig is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find employment. I'm trying to find work. I'm trying to make money. I want to work. I want to do things. I don't know what to do if I'm not doing something. I need to do something. God, help me. I want to do something. Help me find something to do because I want to do. I don't want to not do. I hate not doing. I don't know what to do when I'm not doing. It drives me crazy. That's what I'm doing. Unfortunately, I'm doing a lot of not doing. Uh, uh. Anyway, so I hope that helps. That's what I have to offer at this point. God bless you all, and do the best you can. Always do the best you can. Don't stop trying to do the best you can. God bless you. Peace.